Yo, what's up YouTube? Before we start, make sure to hit the like button for more fire content. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Today's video, we're gonna talk about brakes. We're gonna talk about how to get in and out of your brakes efficiently and make sure you're not taking any wasted steps and get into your target as fast as possible. So we're gonna break it down little by little, step by step, so you guys can be in better position to make more plays. So first one we're going to talk about is the T-step. When we T-step, it is important, right, that you're getting all your cleats on the ground. Now, we want to stay within our frame when we do that T-step. We don't want to step out here. We want to try to not open up to brake, right? We want to make sure everything, your hips are still going forward, your opposite knee is driving to where you're going, right? So in order to do that, we got to set ourselves up for a good brake, a very good, efficient brake. So first thing first, when we pedal, you want your shoulders over your toes. You want to pedal on the balls of your feet. You do not want to get on your heels when you pedal. You get on your heels, your weight shift back. And now when you make that T-step, everything go back and you got to shift back forward to go forward. We want everything to be on point and quick as possible. So as we're pedaling, shoulders over our toes, you want to have your arms ready, right? And now when I'm ready to brake, it's important we take that inside step to slow us down, boom, and then that T-step stay within your frame and you point the knee to where you're going. So a lot of people are calling it the V-step now because a T-step, you kind of open up. You don't want to open up, so you want to make sure when you take that T-step, that V-step is right underneath your frame right here, right? And you're kind of making that V-ish T kind of shape right there, and then you're driving. So when we drive, opposite knee has to go to where we're going. Our head has to snap to where we're going. We're not gonna go here and look here, right? We're gonna go here, knee is pointed, eyes is going to where our target, and we're driving there. Now, a lot of people don't talk about this, but your arms are very important when you're getting out your brakes. When you don't wanna pedal, with your arms out here, you wanna keep your arms out tight within your frame. So now when you get out your brake, boom, 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 you're driving your arms and you're really driving out of there. All right, so when we put it all together, essentially it should look like this. You're here, shoulders over toes, set, go, pedal, boom, brake, boom, 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 and then you're out of there. And you gotta make sure that last two gotta be quick, right? You don't wanna be here. You don't ever wanna walk out your brake. You wanna make sure it's quick, boom, boom, and then you're out of there. All right, so it's important that you keep everything tight within your frame. You got discipline. Eyes, your opposite knee is pointing to where you're going, and you're driving out of there. As you're pedaling, shoulder over toes. So we gotta make sure we set up perfectly, right? Shoulders over toes, good pad level, eyes are disciplined. We're gonna take our walk step and then pedal. Say go, walk, pedal, brake. We're going to talk about the bicycle. Now, bicycle is a different technique where a lot of people use when they're struggling T-stepping. They want to keep their feet moving and driving to where they need to go. So it's a little bit different, but you still got to make sure you take the proper steps, right? So you're still going to have to take that plant, stick, drive step. So as you're going, essentially, you want to be here. The goal is to not have your feet stop moving. You want to keep your feet moving out when you're getting out of your brakes, all right? So if I'm here, you still got to make sure shoulders over toes. You do not want to shift your weight back when you're doing bicycle, right? Now, you have to make sure you keep everything within your frame. Once you step outside your frame, you risk of injuries, all that stuff. You got to make sure you keep everything within your frame. That's both for T-step and bicycle, especially bicycle. Now, as we're going, you're pedaling. When you hear brake, boom, 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 boom. You still gotta make sure that that brake step, that last step is gonna be your outside leg to point. You're still gonna have this knee point to where you're going. All right, so if I'm going slow motion, I'm here, boom, boom, brake, boom, 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 out of there, right? You just gotta keep your feet moving, right? You do not wanna go here and try to brake like this off one foot and go here. No, that's not bicycle. You gotta boom, boom, keep your feet moving and go. So put it all together, shoulders over toes, take your walk step, boom, pedal, brake, out of there. The reason why people slip a lot when they're getting out of their brakes is because they're stepping outside their frame. It's important that you practice working your brakes and stay within your frame. Once you step out here, you put yourself at high risk of injury and slipping. So you gotta make sure everything's within your frame. Remember that Madden circle, right? When you're controlling a play, that little circle, you wanna stay within that frame every time. So when you're getting out your brake, either T-stepping or V-stepping or a bicycle, right? Boom, 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 you're out of there. You gotta make sure it's tight within your frame. If you really wanna get out your brake fast and with efficient, it's all about disciplined eyes. When we're pedaling and we're braking, you gotta find your target. Your eyes are gonna lead you to where you need to go. So that point, when you're braking this way, right? Boom, boom, eyes gotta snap to where we're going. That knee gotta point to where we're going. If you're doing bicycle, boom, 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 going to where it's going. Your eyes is gonna lead you. If you have your eyes stuck here, you're gonna take more steps here. We wanna get in and out of our brake as fast as possible because we're running to go make a play on the ball or intercept it, right? If you take too many steps here, you're giving the receiver more time and more opportunity for him to go attack the ball and make the play. So you gotta remember, it's a race to the ball when we get out of our brakes. So our eyes gotta go to where our target is. If you're sprinting the 100, right? You're looking straight at where you're going, right? You're not looking to the side. You're looking at the finish line. The same thing here, right? You gotta make sure when you get out your brakes, you find that finish line and you get to it as fast as possible. Here are a couple drills that you can really do that's gonna help you get out your brakes as fast as possible with efficient steps. All right, first one, we're working the T-step, right? So you wanna start over the line. All we're doing, shoulders over toes. You're just walking it, right? All you're gonna do, inside, outside, drive over the line. Inside, outside, drive over the line. Remember, our goal is to make sure our hips are square. We don't want to open up to go here, right? So you got to make sure as you're going, you're here, over, stay within your frame. Boom, T-step, boom, right here, stay within your frame. Knee over the line, back over. You here, boom, back over. Boom, back over. Remember, your arms are very important. Shoulders over toes, very important as you're doing it. Boom, boom. And then as you get better at it, you speed up with it. Boom, boom, and you stay within your frame the whole time. Then you make sure you get the other side. For this one, this is our bicycle brake drill right here. So we're gonna start about a yard away from the sideline. All we're gonna do, we're gonna have a slow pedal, keeping everything within our frame. Now, as soon as we get to the white, boom, 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 turn the shoulders, turn the hips to where you're going. You're here, get to the white, boom, 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 push, get to the 1 yard off from the sideline. You're pedaling again, get to the white, boom, 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 get out of there, right? So you're here as you're going, boom, 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 boom. Here, pedal, boom, 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 boom. And it's important, this is a tip for everybody who do bicycle. Pick your knees up, getting out your brakes. You do not want to go bicycle and have your knees here. The key is to pick your knees up, getting out your brakes, so now you can really drive out of there, really gain power and get the momentum going to get to where your destination is. So now another drill, if you have access to one of these things, if you don't, the link will be in the description. Go ahead, copy one of these things. Maybe you can, bless the kid a little bit with a little commission out of it, but you make sure when you're doing this, right, we're still keeping everything within our frame. All right, so first one, we're gonna work on our T-step. So you here, have your feet moving. We're gonna start inside the hexagon. We're here. I'm gonna say set, go, step out, T-step drive, right? So you're here, boom, set, go, boom, 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 right? Make sure it's quick. That 1, 2 is quick, and you're pushing out of that T-step brake, keeping your frame keeping your feet within your frame, your hips up and your drive knees pointing to where you need to go. You're here, say go, boom, 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 boom. And you're making sure your shoulders are over your toes. For bicycle, right? You're gonna start outside the hexagon. You still wanna make sure everything's within your frame, shoulders over toes. So all we're gonna do is I'm gonna go, set, go, boom, boom, boom. So we're gonna make sure we're taking 1, 2, 3. All right, so we're here, set, go, boom, boom, boom. And you're driving out of there. So this is how a full rep will look. As you hear, have some type of movement, right? Keep your feet moving. You do not want to stop your feet when you're getting out of your brakes. You go here, say go, boom, 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 and you're driving out of there. Pumping your arms, driving your knees, right? And getting out of there. I can't stress this enough. If you're gonna bicycle, pick your knees up as you're getting out of there. You wanna go here, boom, boom, pick your knees. So another time, full rep right here. Say go, boom, 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 and you're out of there, all right? That's the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember the keys of getting out of your brake fast and efficiently. Stay within your frame. Do not step outside your frame, right? When you're pedaling, shoulders over toes. Do not shift your weight back and do not pedal with and getting on your heels. Very important. Remember, when you're doing the T-step, you do not want to open the hip to get out of there. Make it more of a V, right? So you can really push out of there. Bicycle, if you're gonna bicycle brake, make sure you're still taking the proper steps and you're picking up your knees and you're driving your arms out of there. T-step, when you get your T-step, boom, boom, the opposite knee is pointing to where you're going. Your eyes locate your target and drive to your target. Do not keep your eyes stuck at the QB, right? So make sure everything's on point and discipline with your technique. Remember the drills, slow it down if you have to. Work on taking a proper step, work on making sure your eyes are disciplined, and also train yourself to pedal with your shoulders over toes so you can get out your brake efficiently and fast. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to drop a like on the video. Make sure to follow us on all our platforms, IG, TikTok, sub to the YouTube channel. Make sure to sub to Twitch if you can. Also, make sure to tune into our weekly live stream. We're gonna start doing that more often on weekends. We're probably gonna find a time where we could stream some college NFL players, game film, and watch it together and break it down together. That's the end of the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.